Hi guys, really quick before we get started, I had to come back to edit this because the box did come back into stock. I don't know if it'll be there right now as I'm uploading this video because I was gonna release it earlier, but I decided not to. So now it's been a couple days and now I'm releasing it. But the box is back in stock for those of you that are interested, because I know a lot of you guys still were. I believe it has the auto ship option and everything. So I will have a link in the description box, and of course my links, not always, but this one will be an affiliate link, which means I will make a small commission if you purchase your card making compendium through that link, which I would appreciate. So thank you guys so much for the support. And so now let's get started if you want to see how I made this cracker. Okay guys, so rolling right along, I just finished up the video for Decorative Outline Dies craft kit from Crafters Companion. I am going to do today the cracker in the Christmas compendium because I think it's going to be a little more difficult, and I think I have some tips that might help you guys. So I know Sarah used it recently in a Christmas compendium show that she did. It was like just about an hour long. It was one of the lives, but I kind of missed it. And I went back to see what I could see from it, and I get busy, so I didn't quite catch everything in there. But she did do the cracker, and I was like, because you know how that happens, right? They do the thing, and it's a stencil, and then they're like, and then you just cut these things, and here it is. And it's like, just cutting these things is not that easy. So I want to show you, I think, in my mind, what will help you guys make one if you want. And it's just purely decorative, unless you buy the little cracker thing, that little puller. But I don't even think that's going to work because of the way the cracker ends up. I'll show you what I mean. But you know, what do I know? So let me grab some paper, and we are the base paper is not going to be paper from the compendium because the stencil, I think, of the size. Actually, let me check. Let me grab the stuff, and we'll just do it real quickly. Okay, so this is what I thought. This paper is 8x8, and this looks bigger than that. So it matches up right at the edge and just kind of off the edge here. So what I'm going to do is still use it because this is in here. But this isn't that sturdy. What do I want to do? You know what? I'll just grab some paper, some actual cardstock. Let me just grab that real quick. Because again, oh yeah, let me see here. Sarah's whole thing is that a lot of times things don't look professional because the colors don't match, and supposedly you're supposed to be able to do everything, but it's not going to happen. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I chose a gray. I just have a bunch of cardstock like in my kind of in front of me over here. You guys have seen my craft room walkthrough and all that, so it's just lined up there and I can see all my colors pretty well. I'm choosing this gray because there's gray in that top level, and this is in the top level of the traditional stuff. So I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll decorate with this blue. I don't know. We'll see. It looks a lot smaller, but when she had it in her hand, it looked bigger. So I thought, well, that's kind of cute, you know. I'm going to line it up right at the bottom so that's less to have to cut, right? That's always a good thing whenever you have less to cut. So this is down here. I'm going to see where I am on the camera. That way you see the whole thing. All right. And I need a pencil. And this is what kind of drives me nuts about this stuff, because when you're going to trace this stencil, I would recommend to trace it in exactly the same spot every time, or else you're going to have, maybe this one's up here, maybe this one's down here, and it's going to be problematic. I'm going to try, oh, this is so, do you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of variation here. If this was thinner, that would be appreciative, but, so what I'm going to do is always go with the bottom line. Eesh, I don't know if that helps, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaning my pencil against the bottom. If you go right in the middle, it might be different every time you do it. So, and I'm not even sure. Yeah, these are going to be score marks. So I'm just going with that bottom line. And I'll mark these, but this isn't as important. Well, actually, this might help you a little bit. So again, bottom line, bottom line. I don't know. That's just how I'm doing it. It might end up not being the best idea. I just don't see how else you do this. And I am using a pencil, and it's going to leave marks. And maybe I'm not doing it too dark, but that's okay. And then you're going to cut these pieces out, and you have to score this, and you have to score this, and you have to score this, okay? So let's, again, I'm scoring on the outer edge, like touching it against this side. Hope that helps, if you understand what I mean. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to score on the outer edge of this one too. I don't know if it's that big a deal, but alright, so that way it's always the same. Okay, I'll do the same thing over here. Outer, oops, starting in the middle for some reason so I can forget. You don't really have to score all of it, to be honest. If you only had a line here that helps you remember that's where you're going to score all the way down, then that would be helpful, right? You don't have to do all these. Outer, outer, outer. And the edges can be cute and rounded the way they have them here. You can probably just take a paper cutter, what's it called? Like a paper punch, and give it a decorative edge if you don't want to do this. That'd be really cute too, like any Martha Stewart punchy. And we have to trace this side. And I still haven't even traced the parts that we need to cut out. So every single one of these, I'm going to go in, of course, right against the edges. Right against the edges. Okay? I'm going to do that. I'm going to trace this on this side, and then just these last two little pieces here. It looks really cute when you're done, but again, it's not going to be functional. Alright, so I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just going to finish. Choot. I'm not going to skip ahead and be like, here it is, cut out. No, the point of this video is to show you, but I am going to do these same diamonds here and then the wavy line. I think I got everything. Yay! So again, this is just junky cardstock from Recollections. So what I'm going to do, I always like to save my paper, I guess I don't really have to, is trim this, again, straight across. You can probably put this on your paper trimmer to chop this part. That way you're not doing it with scissors and how I'm doing it, kind of like But just put that against your paper trimmer and cut that piece off. I'm going to trim this piece off. And usually I would like to go ahead and do the roundy parts, but I want to do something else before we get there. Actually, let's go ahead and trim that down. So on this here, no, we're not. I'm gonna leave it straight because I want to do the score marks, and then maybe that's gonna be the inside of our shaker, which is kind of a bummer. It's just so many lines on here, you know? So I have a feeling that might be, well, this thing is kind of a bummer. Okay, let me grab a bigger score tool, like this one. And of course, these aren't like anything that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? If I hit this against here, it's off a little bit. I'm trying to make this as easy as I can. Like, it should be like every 1 inch, but it's like 1 and a little bit of an inch. So it's off. You know what I'm saying? If it was every 1 inch, that'd be great. But maybe it's supposed to be every 1 inch. Either way, I'm going to follow my lines because that's just the easier thing to do. And maybe it was better when we went to trace it if you traced right on 1 inch lines. I have no idea. Okay. So I am just bringing it all the way down because basically you're supposed to score from one end to the next, right? And this one, I'm just going to line it up here and down here, and hopefully I want a straight line. And from here to, I'm just feeling this out. Trying to see where I'm going to end up over here. There we go. That's that. And I'm just putting in all the score lines. I know it's kind of... Actually, see how I have that mark? If I can get, always just go to that mark, that would let me know. Because I have a line here, so I can see at the top and at the bottom that the line's still on the same page, if you will. Alright, from there to there, that makes it easier. I'll follow my mark next time. Okay. Now, these are all score lines too. Every single one of these. So, again, I'll just line it up on my blue line so I know that. So I'm going to do that one. And then the next one. This one's a little bit harder to tell, but I can kind of eyeball it. There's that one. And then this one. I'm just going with the lines that are there. Lining from the top and the bottom. And I suppose you could erase the lines. Like I said, I'm just going to use... I don't know. We'll see. I might just take the time to erase the lines because I like this side better. And whenever I score, I always like the side that I scored on to be the side that's facing me, you know? But that's just a habit of mine, I guess. And then here. Okay. And before I do what I was saying as far as erasing the lines, obviously I'm going to cut this. And when I cut this, I'm just going to come in with scissors. It may not be these big guys, it may be a little smaller set, but we're going to go in and just follow the curve as best as you can. And I hope you guys see this is already, obviously takes longer than you think. But I like people to know what they're getting into, and if there's any problems or pitfalls that you can avoid, you know, we'll do that. Of course, I'm going to go and just root the whole edge, okay? But for this part, I'm like, okay, you're going to X-Acto knife that or what? Every single one of these little things need to come out. So in my mind, what I was thinking is, why don't you just fold it and then use your scissors to follow the little rectangle, or triangle, should I say, rectangle, right? Boom, done. And then this one, I follow it here to the point, done. And I hope you guys are thinking that is genius, because I think that's genius. I was like, you know, just watching it yesterday, she was like, okay, then she's, you know, stenciled it out, and then the next thing is already cut. Okay, so you're gonna cut, and then you're gonna, I'm like, wait, what? No. Why don't we show it in real time so people can see what they're getting into? Because otherwise they're just like, oh, that's so cute. Do you want to do this work? Okay, but I think this right here is a big deal. I think this will help you a lot, because otherwise you'd be using an X-Acto, I suppose. I don't know. And to be honest, I've never seen a cracker being made, so maybe this is already something people do. I'm just like, yeah. Like even the card I just showed you. I pretty much came up with this on my own to put this outer border on here. And, you know, just from crafting and doing other things, and you have things like that in your mind. And then I finished that video up, and I was going to go edit, but the other video is still editing, so, and then I checked out my email. And Crafters Companion had sent an email that today, well actually it's done now I guess because of the time, but they were going to have a world launch, or not world launch, is it a world launch? I don't remember. Either that or a cartload or something of their new stained glass dies, which are basically the same as those animal ones they put out not too long ago. But I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Because, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do or what they're going to show, but that's what I came up with. And there's just a lot of videos. I don't know when I'm going to put these up, guys. And then I have, obviously, my regular Wednesdays and Fridays videos. Lots of things I want to get to. Some fun things coming up next week, so definitely keep an eye out. And I'm just chit-chatting while we're doing this, because otherwise it'd be kind of boring. Alright, one more. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this, because obviously you saw about how long it took to do this part, but let me just finish it up, and then we'll decorate it and put it together. Okay, so I just finished it up, and I went ahead and erased my pencil marks, only because I like this side better. If you know, want to use the other side, but see how that, and it gives a different look. I mean, you know, if you like that little look of that. But what I'm going to do is cut little pieces to decorate this with. Now, there are 7 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections, but 2 of them are going to overlap, so you really only need 6 pieces. So this thing, let's see, is, well, we already know that 1 inch, right, because we're doing 1 inch by 3 inches. So I'm going to cut little pieces of paper that are 7/8 by 2 7/8. 6 pieces that are 7/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, and I'll be back. Cutting that little 7/8. Woo! I guess I could have done math backwards. I think that would have been better than cutting these little tiny pieces at the very edge trying to get it 7/8. But I just chose that Merry Christmas paper because I looked at the papers and you would think that there'd be something with gray in it. But there is not. So I guess you could dig into like the blue sections. That might be good. But this stuff, you think, you know, she put gray in there. Why is there gray? There is no gray. So I just went with the Merry Christmas paper because I figured I probably wouldn't use it that much. And okay, so when we put this together, we're going to glue one part together. And I don't think it matters which one goes on top or not. So I'm just going to start like with here. And to make it easy, we'll just use a wet glue. Just to get it going and be done. So I'm just gonna put some glue kind of to the edges. I cut these pieces in a way that they pretty much mat the whole thing. So I'm just going to take pieces. Again, if you didn't want to erase all your marks, what you could do is, see, I did 2 7/8. I'm telling you, that flippin' thing, it's right to the edges. That's not what I wanted. But I'm not going to do it again now because it took us so long to do all the little 7/8. It's that guillotine cutter. It's not really that accurate. But anyway, I'm just lining them up here. You can just do some ink distressing, because then people won't see the pencil marks, right? That's something I learned with that little Kiwi lane, because they do a lot of that kind of stuff. And if you wanted this to kind of work, you can do it in the same order that you cut them, but I just cut them and threw them to the side, like these two kind of match up, and now I don't want them to match up because it'll be weird. So let's put that one there. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't matching up the rest of them, all of a sudden if they match, it'll be odd. So I just want to mix it up. So I'm going to stick these last 3 little strips down. I'll be right back. So before we get too far, we're going to bend this middle section and this guy. I'm just going to give them some bend. Sometimes people like to go one way and back the other way, whatever it is. But basically, once we put this together, I believe that's going to pop in. So, and then of course, all of these. Actually, let me go ahead and just turn this over. So we're going to go there. You could have done this before. We did. Whenever you want to do your score marks, obviously that's up to you. Just do the score marks. They need to be scored real well. I don't know if they have to be real well, but well enough. So I'm just folding everything from here out. Here, one of the children. I hear the children. I made so many videos this morning, it's ridiculous, and they were sleeping hard. But that's what we're going to do. And this needs to glue to here, okay? So I'm going to use a wet glue, that way I can talk to the kids and do what I need to do. But I'm going to put some wet glue on the whole thing because I want it to stay together real nicely. And I'm going to hold it while I calm the children, okay? So this is this, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, I just really started putting this thing together before I really, I was trying to really get that glue down, like just roll something in there to hold that together. So we always want to really score all these things, right? So basically these are going to go in, right? And this is just going to push into it. So basically I should have scored these a little better. I think it's that guy, that's the double up one that's giving me a little problem here. Okay. And there it is, right? So what I was saying is that I don't know that this will be a cracker, like even if you put that thing in there, because look at the big hole in the center. How is that other piece, that thing, gonna fit in there? So I think this is really good for dollar bills, y'all. If you're gonna put something like that in there, maybe some Hershey Kisses, something that's not gonna fall out of that hole, right? So again, you can put, you know, little bows, other cute little things. I'm just gonna finish it up real quick. I know Sarah had used some ribbon, so I'll just use some ribbon because whatever. And I'll use this pretty red one. And we will see if this is even enough ribbon to use on these. So I'm literally taking that ribbon that's in the kit. It's very frugal amount of ribbon, okay? The other day when I made a bow, it was very hard to make a bow, even a small bow at that. Okay, so let's just pretend we're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna get a bow from this, but we might get a knot. Yeah, we'll get a knot. So tie one end up, fill in on the other side, whatever it is that you like. Again, depending on what kind of ribbon you're using, you can seal the edges with a little fire. Where's my little fire? Is it here? I always keep one here, and then when I need it, I don't know where. There it is. When I need it, it's exactly where I left it. I always forget it's in this bucket down towards the end. So you can just do that so it doesn't fray, and that's something I used to do on my other videos with bows, but do it quickly. Like that one was a little much. You don't want it to turn black, but okay. And then, but see how big that hole is? So as I'm saying, I think maybe some kind of candy that you can put in there. Otherwise, it's just a cute little decoration, I think. But there it is. You could also seal the ends before you stick them on here. You don't have to do that. Give them some dovetails. Do whatever you like. Just a little extra something. So that wasn't too quick. That wasn't too quick. That wasn't too bad, like too long, I don't think, for a cute little project. But it does take some work. So I hope that little tip of just cutting those triangles would help, because I think that makes it a lot faster. And there you go. Maybe it's not good for dollar bills, because what if you put your money in there and it just falls out? I don't know. Put whatever you like. But there it is. I hope that you guys like the tutorial, and I will see you guys at the next one. I'm having fun with this. Like, at first, you know, I have some of the cards right here. The first thing we did was just trying the embossing folders. I'm going to do a video on how to use the embossing folders, the images. And then I did, on that same one, I cut this out just to try it. Then we did the stocking, and then we did this card with the ornaments. And I thought, oh, you know what? You can take more of these little gems. I didn't think about it, and put like one right here just to do a little something extra. Maybe in between each one of these. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Nothing too much. I thought just a little addition. We did that. Now we got this guy, and I'll just keep working. So thanks for watching, guys. I will do the house. I've been dreading to do the house. That's why I have been holding off, but I will do the house, okay? I will see you guys at the next one. Thanks. Bye now.